Hi everyone. Lots of people have been voting for choir on the poll, which is now very out of date. So here's a taste of MuseSound's choir library in the MuseScore 4 beta. First up, I must say that MuseScore and MuseSounds and MuseHub had an update this week. Even with that though, this is going to be a short one because the choir doesn't have many options at this stage. We get the 4 standard voices: soprano, alto, tenor, bass. So let's have a look at some of the features that we do have. Our first example is legato singing. So for chords and legato changes, this library works beautifully and it sounds great. Let's have a listen. Once again, dynamics are really easy to put in. I love this transition from the A flat to the B flat. Worked better when they were all singing together. I do find that I want a bit of a boost for the basses, especially at that forte, that low A flat. They just need a little something extra for me. But apart from that, the sopranos and altos are really well balanced, I think. Unfortunately, at the moment anyway, the tenor arrives with an alto voice attached. Here I have a bass attached because when I go to tenor and I try and play back, it crashes MuseScore, so that's not so fun. So let's just load that up again. I've loaded up a bass in the meantime in the tenor part, just so that we at least have the male voice. They sound a little strained in the top range, but you know what, we can live with that. Okay, next we have staccato. I'm not a fan of the staccato sound. There's something sort of guttural and then the note hits and it makes me feel very uncomfortable. However, the staccatissimo is a lot better. And honestly, that's what I would expect to hear for staccato. So, wow, fantastic, really nice staccatissimo. In fact, even in the piano, that's really nice. They're together and it has just the right feel that you want from that piano staccato. So yeah, staccato, staccatissimo. Apparently I'll be using staccatissimo for now until this staccato gets sorted out. Yeah, no, don't like that. In accents, there is definitely a difference. So here we can compare accents versus non-accents. There is a difference, definitely, but I certainly wouldn't call it an accent. I think this Marcato produces a slight separation between the notes, but if anything it provides less power than the standard unaccented notes. So we'll look out for improvements on that one. I must say at this point that I'm really impressed with how notes end. They just end sort of cleanly and naturally. There's no cutting off, which is great to hear. Really, really nice. While I was here I had to try some Eric Whittaker type clusters, and I think he would be proud of the sound coming from these clusters. Although again, I'd like to hear it with the tenor. The blurb says we should be able to choose between vibrato and non-vibrato, but I can't see a way to do that yet. Certainly adding the vibrato marking does nothing that I can tell. On the topic of promises, MuseSounds has also promised to include different vowel sounds in later releases, with and ooh being advertised in the blurb, so that will be great to have. I am excited by certain aspects of this choir sound. I think particularly if you're wanting to use it for a cinematic choir, you know, maybe under an orchestra, I think it could work very well. I'm really impressed with the realistic legatos and the natural feel, the endings of the notes, like I've said, but there are still a lot of bugs and features that we'll be looking out for. We still have harps, keys, and percussion from this MuseSounds libraries. Which one is coming next?